Hello everyone, this is a quick presentation to show you how to do the other alternatives to SDLC research project. And as I talked about in the lesson, to do this project, you're going to research other methods of software development other than waterfall and the other ones discussed in the course. So there were 4 different ones discussed in the lessons. You will not be able to use any of those. In your final project, you're going to create a slideshow presentation that outlines the software development lifecycle for the product that you chose. And you're going to have information for each step of the process, how it's different from the ones you studied in class, advantages and disadvantages of the approach. So you're going to have a number of slides on here. And what I've decided to put together is a PowerPoint showing you how to do this PowerPoint project successfully. Now, as we look at this on your slide presentation, you'll end up with a title slide and then a slide showing each step of the method you choose. Then you'll have a slide for advantages, a slide for disadvantages of the method you choose, and then finally you'll have your bibliography slide. So let's say your method had 5 steps in it. You would have the title slide as 1, then the 5 steps is 5 more, so that makes 6. Then you'd have advantages, which would be 7th slide, disadvantages 8th slide, and then finally bibliography would be your 9th slide. So that's how this will work. And I'll also show you how you can do the bibliography effectively. So I'm going to go ahead and move into PowerPoint to show you the sample that I've created for you. So here we are in PowerPoint, and what I chose to do was to create a PowerPoint showing you how to create the effective PowerPoint for this project. So if we take a look at it, the first slide, there's my title slide. You can see I have my name in it, I have a subtitle, and I also have an image that sort of goes along with it. Now, the purpose of this example, this is my first slide, and you can see in this example, in this slideshow, I'm going to do 5 things. So if you think about this, I could actually have this on my title slide if I wanted to. So if you think about this, since there are 5 bullet items here, that means that I'm going to have 5 slides. So in your presentation, when you create yours, you're going to have probably, at least 5 steps to the method you choose, maybe 6 steps depending on the method you choose. Then you'll have an advantages slide, a disadvantages slide, and then your bibliography. So you might end up with 7 or 8 bullet items here, but you can see how I bulleted these because the bullets let people look at it quickly. I'm going to take the bullets off of this so you can see how the text is typed in there. So what I did for each one, I typed the sentence, then I'd hit enter. So I would type all of these lines. Once I have them all typed, then I highlight the lines and I go up and choose bullet. So that makes them into a bullet. And I put a related image on here. Now as I go to the next slide, assignment requirements. You can see the titles of these slides. If I go back to here, the bullet items, requirements of this assignment. So each of my slides is going to have a title similar to this bullet item. So this first bullet item says the requirements for this assignment. If I go to the next slide, assignment requirements are going to be my title. And for this assignment, you can see what you'll do. This tells you what you're going to do for this work. You're going to research an alternative. Do not use the ones that are in the course. That will demonstrate your understanding of your chosen model, create a quality presentation for your chosen model, provide a bibliography slide. So that's what you're going to be doing. So now if I go back, the next thing I need to look at is how the presentation should look. So I should have a slide that addresses that. How a presentation should look. There's the title. To keep viewers' attention, a presentation should use colors that are easy on the eyes, use a template or design to give it more character, use similar fonts and typefaces, include related images. On some slides, you don't have to have an image on all slides. Now you can see down here, your presentation software will have predefined designs or templates. You can find them under the Design tab. You want to choose that before you start your work. So for instance, here I am in my presentation. If I go to Design at the top, if I choose a different design, so I can choose these different designs. Well, some of these are going to mess up the way my presentation looks because the way they put headings and things like that, right? You imagine, so I've done all my work and then I go ahead and I use, let's say I wanted to use that one. So that messes it up a little bit because it puts a picture outside of the border. It puts this note outside of the border. So it's easier to have your template first or your design chosen first. Then you can put all your content in. So you can see the different ones. And there's the one I had originally. And the great thing about this, when you choose these templates, these designs, then it automatically puts the typeface the way that you see here. So I'd encourage you to use those. And then the colors work out nicely, all kinds of things. Okay, the next slide. The next slide is components of a quality presentation. If I go back to this one right here, I see a bullet that says components of a quality presentation, so that means I'm going to have a slide that addresses that. The components of a quality presentation, so a title slide to introduce the topic, a slide for each major part of the presentation, a bibliography or source slide at the end, bullet points to share information, now sentences. So again, you can see my bullet points, right? None of my bullet points have periods at the end because they're not complete sentences. Next slide, presentation software or applications you can use. So there's PowerPoint, OpenOffice Impress that you can download OpenOffice, or Prezi, that's an online application. So it doesn't matter which you use for this class, just make sure that I can access it. For instance, if you use Prezi, then that's going to be stored online and I'm going to have access to it. Or it might be able to let you, it might download what you create, I'm not sure. But both in Microsoft PowerPoint and in OpenOffice Impress, those will be files that you will attach. So that's how that's the best way to get your presentation done, with the idea that as you go through it, you'll pay attention to the specific requirements. And please remember, for the work for this assignment, you're going to have a slide for each of the parts of your model. So you have a title slide, then you have a slide for each part of your model. So if your model has 6 parts, you'll have 6 slides for that. Then you'll have an advantages slide, a disadvantages slide, and then you'll have, finally, you'll have your citing sources. So you'll end up with 7 or 8 slides on this. And last thing I want to say is make sure that you check your spelling. Make sure that your titles are similar. So purpose of this example, you can see how that is. You know, all the main words are capitalized. If I go down here, assignment requirements, the main words are capitalized. Here, the main words are capitalized. So you make sure the thing looks similar throughout. So